All right. All right, all right, all right. We're back. I'm gonna wait a bit for or at least someone to pull up. I know I said I'd start streaming, or I'd stream again tomorrow. And, well, it's not tomorrow. It's actually today. But, I really wanted to get something going. So we're gonna go for about maybe an hour today. A bit less than yesterday. And, let's see. I have some food that I need to cool down, so we'll put it up here. Let's pray I don't forget that. Do I have a drink? I don't. Let me go get a drink, and I'll be right back. Ooh. All right. Got the drink. I'm back. Back and better than ever. Let's actually turn down the mic volume. Oh! There we go. That way it doesn't peak too high. We'll go right there. Oh, no. Where are we? There we go. Okay, and it looks like with our stream delay looking like 15 seconds. Not that bad, actually. Here we go. Wonderful. Okay. Let's get back into the game. Where are we? We're on this one. For those wondering, the current thumbnail is just an old picture of when I went to the Mun. Oh, my ears. Yeah, we're back into our world. We are missing $150,000. Am I in the right world? Something tells me I'm not in the right world. Or the game didn't save. That's not good. The game didn't save. That's why I'm on the wrong save. I'm on the Jinx Space Agency, not the International Jinx Space Agency. We gotta switch games real quick. I was about to say, we're a couple 100,000 short. Here we go. Alright. Now. We're in the right save. Yep, there we go. Look how much money we have. Current contracts right now. We're gonna... Let's see. We're gonna accept that contract. So now we're 2 contracts, which should give us a grand total of... What is that? $16,000. And some rep points. Our reputation's already pretty good, but, cash helps. Let's turn down the desktop audio just a hair. Alright. So here is what we're building. We're just building a little orbital mission. This is gonna be Contract Craft V. I don't even know at this point. Throw a little bit of a heat shield on. Decoupler. See, what colors do we have? We'll go full black. 2, 3, 4. Check on a swivel engine. Aero parts, we need our winglets. those on. Get a thumpers on. Scroll out a bit. Just a hair lower. That's good enough for us. Go back to our arrows. Get our cones on. I think this should be enough. Anything we're missing? I think we have everything. We'll throw one more fuel tank on just for good measure because we're at 34.22 right now. This will take us to 38.43. Perfect, perfect. We have enough parachutes. Okay, we'll tank the cost now and we'll buy landing struts. And just kind of tuck them in. Why are you getting landing struts, you might say? I don't want to risk killing any of our tourists. Tourists and tourists. Okay, never mind. No landing legs. We're going off of pure praying here. We have one part left. Mr. Krabs, I have an idea. We're going to throw an SAS module on top. There we go. This will be our contract craft. Save. Alright. Launch that, John. Got a nice got a nice Pepsi for our bev today. Normally I'd pick Coke, but they didn't have it. We have our 2 tourists. We have our 2 contracts. And we still have that in orbit. Let's quickly deal with that. Tracking center. I'm just curious, is it literally just the antenna? Oh no, it's a bit more than that. I mean, we can't do anything. Okay, let's quickly terminate that, John. Tracking station here. Terminate. Alright. Let's now launch our mission. Fly. Last time it took us about an hour to get to the moon. This time we're needing a lot of parts before we can get to the moon. Alright. Make sure everything's staged correctly. Alright. Let's get the show on the road, shall we? Let's toggle down our fuel just a hair. Get to here. Start our gravity turn. We're gonna need as much help as we can on this. Okay, let's max out our fuel. Okay, let's go close to 45 now. Okay, what do we lose? We actually didn't lose that much. We lost 2 tail fins. Other than that, that was a pretty good launch. In the future, we need sepatrons. Those are little rockets that you put on top of your outer stages. That way, you know, they don't blow you up. That's the word. Any day now. We just gotta get to Apple Apps. We'll start right about here. We have plenty of fuel. We just gotta burn horizontally. And I'm gonna put a hair down. We don't have too much room to play with. Let's go pitch up just a bit. And this is so that we can start circularizing around Kerbin. We should probably put a hair up, that way we don't lose too much of our speed. And now the reason we went this way opposed to the other way is so Kerbin is going that way, right? It's going from right to left. That's its rotation. So if we do the opposite of that, it will amplify our motion. As you can see, we're almost there. In the bottom left, you can see our periaps, which is about to go into the positives. Periaps being the lowest part of the orbit. And there we go. We're fully circularized around Kerbin. You can tell because their periaps is above 70 kilometers. 70 kilometers is the Kármán line, or I guess Kerbin line. I don't know what they call it in this game. If we look, we actually have a mod called Free IVA, so we can look about our capsule. As you can see, there's the cool. Actually, I just realized. Anyways, they both have orbited. Let's now dip under the Kerbin line. And we're just gonna get a nice, easy dip. So now, as time goes, we're going to start dipping under or into the atmosphere. And we will be going so fast that we will cause friction with the atmosphere. And they will try and blow us up. Hopefully we're at just a shallow enough entrance to where we don't have to deal with that. All right. And now we enter. Let's speed up just a bit. As you can see, our periaps is slowly dropping, which means that we are encountering air inducing drag. Therefore, we get slowed down. Okay, heat started, so let's just burn the rest of our fuel trying to slow us down. We're gonna warp a bit. Okay. Separate now. Any second, we should be starting to get the true effects of the atmosphere. Yep, there it is. Welcome to whoever just joined the stream. My keen eye, out of the corner of my eye, saw a bump from the 0 to the 1. We're currently doing some contract work so we can go to the moon. Hope your day's going pretty well. As we slowly make our way. Let's warp a bit just because I'm low-key a bit lazy. Okay, we're no longer burning. Once we hit, switch from sea level to air level, or ground, whichever it may be. We will, once we hit 5,000, we're gonna pop the chutes. We have the 2 drogues, which will pop first, slowing us down, while the big one inevitably blows up. Well, not blows up, it expands. There we go. Drogues popped. As you can see, our speed is slowly going down. It's the big one up there. Drogues fully expand. You can see we completely tanked a lot of speed on that. And then eventually, our main one will pop as well. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Look at that. So now we will just time warp into the ground. Well, onto the ground, I guess. I don't want to go into the ground, you know? All right. 200. 100. 70. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Landing. And just like that, we have completed their itinerary. Let's recover this, John. Look at that. If we go into mission control, contracts completed. Next up, we need, let's see. Orbit around Kerbal, suborbital space flight on Kerbal. Oh, this one's gonna be easy. We can just do this one. Welcome to new viewer in the chat. We're just working on getting some money so we can go to the Mun, because right now our vehicle assembly building is too low of a level. Let's see. Let's pull out the calculator, see how much money we can make out of this. We need $50,000 until we can level up. Let's see, add that on to that. Throw on another 950, 850, and 1950. Okay, we get 23 grand out of this contract. We'll probably lose half of it to production costs. So we'll do that. And we'll also, it's a bit of a small contract, but it's a free thing we can do. If we do this, we get, it's literally just a free contract. Actually, we can do this one, transmit or recover scientific data from space around Kerbal, because it's another 15, so we'll do that. And we lost our viewer. How sad. Oh. It's a bit more of a boring day, you know? Let's pull out the contract vehicle. Load. We're gonna sacrifice control. We're gonna take out the SAS module. And we're gonna throw on a science unit. Let's see. Let's tack on a mystery goo unit. Right there. Local, take that off. And we'll just kind of bring you in. There we go, 30 on the dot. Launch. Now here's my goal. I'm missing our tourists. Let's quickly go back to the pad and throw the tourists in. I want to try and put them into upper space, like in space high, or in space far, whatever they call it around Kerbal. I know some places call it in space far, some places call it in space high. Let's bring my food down to desk. We got one's chicken today on the itinerary, or not on the itinerary, the menu, I guess. All right, let's launch. Welcome, viewer. Ooh, we're trying to get some money raised so that we can go to the moon. Ooh. So we are behind on funds. Okay, I gotta revert the flight because I did the staging wrong. We did, in fact, did not launch with the swivel engine. Something stuck in my throat. Alright, take 3. Let's get our orbital mode on. Feather down the throttle just a hair. Also, welcome, viewer. Hope you're doing good today. Having a good day. I find it funny. I'm looking at the OBS out of the corner of my eyes, and I can see every time I press a key, it triggers a sound. Oh, and we escaped that as well. Let's get just a hair higher. Okay. So now we are going to warp up to Apoapс. Apoaps being the highest part of the orbit. Any second now. Let me just double check, see if we've done Mystery Goo up here. Oh, we have another viewer. This is amazing. Alright, cool. That Mystery Goo was not for science. That was just so we can get our other contract that says transmit or recover data from space above Kerbal. That's purely just for that contract. We're at the point where the next big science stuff is going to be on the Mun. Let's see, let's go warp up to another 10 kilometers. Yeah, right there. All right. Now we're going to burn horizontally. And that line is going to go that way to the right. And inevitably, well, that one's also going to go to the left. Inevitably, we're going to circularize. Ugh. For those of you watching, how are we doing today? Hope we're doing good. Let's see. Let's speed this up. Oh, we can't warp. That's wonderful. The only downside of these contracts and playing on career mode is that it's a lot longer of it takes a lot longer to progress, purely because you have to worry about money, which is lame. No bueno, if you ask me. Alright, we're almost broken up through the carbon line. And we're at 70. Wonderful. And I'm pretty sure, yep, we've done all of our contractual work. We're now going to go up to Apoapс, which is 343. We're going to take a little crew report up there. Unless we've already taken a crew report. I don't know. Let's see. Crew report. We've already done a crew report. Wonderful. Alright. We are now gonna burn retrograde. Get us plopped nice down into the atmosphere. And then slowly make our way over. And all of our viewers are gone. How sad. Ugh, but that's life, you know. Alright. Once we hit about 50k, we'll start to burn the rest of our fuel reserves. Any second now. We're at 50k. We're now at 50k. 3, 2, 1, boom. Hopefully. This gets a bit better, I guess. But we'll see. Alright. We'll stage now. Warp through our re-entry. And honestly, we might get a splashdown landing. I'm not sure. Probably not. I think we're getting a hard landing. Yeah. We are not getting a splashdown landing by any stretch of the imagination. Alright. Once we hit 5,000, we'll pop shoots and pray. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Shoots deployed. Okay, we lost our main shoot. That's actually terrible. That's actually really bad. Okay, bad news. We might lose our tourists. We'll jettison the heat shield. Hopefully that helps us. We are falling very fast. Alright. Survey says, are we dead? I think we're dead. We survived. Everyone clap. We survived a very, very heavy landing. Let's see. 30 meters per second to miles per hour. Yeah, they just hit the ground going at about 70. So, hey, they survived. That's all I care about. And we got a boatload of cash. Let's see. Mission control, what do we got? We only need 30,000, give or take. I would love to do these exploration missions, but we have a smidge of a, how do I word this, lack of money. This one would be nice. This would be very nice, just because of how much money it gives us. Downside is we can't get to the Mun right now. So, here's what we're gonna do. No clue what we're gonna do. Let's see. What do we have in R&D? Have we done anything lately? We have a new fuel tank with the Terrier. That is it. Yikes. Oh, we can still do a flyby mission because we don't have the whatchamacall, science units on anymore. All we gotta do, right? Remove fuel tank. Actually, okay, here we're gonna do. Take out the mystery goo, right? We're now going to throw a Terrier on. That's not a Terrier. That's a Terrier. Throw the coupler on, throw that on, and we are over by 1 part. Okay. What's our delta V looking like? Throw that there. Throw that there. In theory, it works. But as Oppenheimer said in the hit movie Oppenheimer, theory will only take us so far. Because last time we were this close to not making it home. What do we think? I think we take these off. We have a bit more parts to play with, so we will add a fuel tank to the top and a fuel tank to the bottom to ensure that we, make it. Throw that right there, throw that right there. Bring this up. And, okay, we'll throw you up there. Okay, things are not necessarily looking the prettiest, but what's the worst that could happen, you know? Save this. I don't think I accepted the contract. We'll accept the contract. Let's see. Fly by the Mun. And that gives us a lot of money. Where these two, which actually gives us a lot less money. I think we go this route. We'll accept the contract. Is there any other flyby missions? Dang, I should have done this one. Wait, let's see. What do we have right now? Okay. We can do this. Here's the idea. We do half and half. We take the two flyby missions, right? And we put them together as one mission to give us what 43,875 plus 4,875, 4,875, 4,875. Okay, that's a big chunk of change. And we add on, what is his name? Hanami's mission. She gives us 29,250 plus 4,875, 4,875. Okay, all in told, gives us 100 grand for just those two, which is the one half. This mission will cost us 15,707, which leaves us 80 grand to play with. Plenty of money to make it. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm going to quickly run to the restroom. I'll be back in 1 minute, and then we will go launch this mission. So let's go. Let me get over to, where is it? Here. I'll be back. And Whoa. Dang. The time it took me to be right back. We lost a viewer. Ugh. Unfortunate. But we are back now. In theory, we have just enough fuel. I don't like that. So what we'll do, we will replace that fuel tank with a slightly larger one. And then we will just, slap that on. What's our part count? We are perfectly on the money here. We need Hanami. And we also need... Who else do we need? Jettily. Here we go. Here are our two brave tourists who will be the first civilians to go to the moon. It's funny looking at this rocket. It's very, how do I put this? Tall. But I think we got it. All right, let's launch. Let's hope the Kraken does not get to us. Oh, we have auto strut? Okay. And then we'll just quickly auto strut everything that way. Nothing bad happens, knock on wood. What do we lose? Okay, we lost a couple pieces. No biggie, no biggie. Let's pray that we can still get an orbit with this. I think we have enough fuel if we use our carrier stage. But it'll be close. We're gonna cut it really close. Too close for comfort, actually. Let's start tilting just a hair more. We're gonna warp up to about 65-ish kilometers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop warping. And we're gonna start just kind of praying that this works. We're gonna warp a bit more. Try and save fuel where we can. It's just not a lot of places. And yeah. I love the KSP audio so much. Okay, I don't like the look of that. We gotta get our vertical speed a bit higher. Something tells me this stage isn't making it. Let's go a bit more horizontal. I think it can take us to 200 periaps. Well, actually, I don't know. I think we're at that point. I think we might be able to get to the positives with this. Knock on wood. Dang it, we were so close. Alright, let's have our Terrier stage just take us home here. Save as much fuel as humanly possible. Beautiful. We now need to warp to about right here, where the moon is on the horizon. Since we don't have advanced conics yet, we have to eyeball it. Because normally I put a, what are they called? Maneuver node. Oh, look at that. Let's go to prograde. Moon's on the horizon. Burn prograde. And then this should get us our encounter that we need. Hopefully better than last time. Last time our encounter was a collision course. We accidentally did that. Which, you know, I wouldn't be too upset with if I had a lander. But we don't have a lander. And also, since we don't have advanced conics, we don't see when we have a encounter. Which is really bad, considering the fact that, I don't know how else. Like, we're full on eyeballing this. Any day now. Any day. Almost there. Almost there. Let's throttle down just a hair. Get right on the X. There. Alright. Let's now check our work. We're going to warp out all the way. Ooh, we don't have a comms unit. I don't think comms are going to be too important. I think we did it. I think we did it. We're about to find out. Did we do it? We did it. Slight issue though. Well, once again, we have a collision course. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go this way a hair. And we're going to try and get us out of that collision course. Best of our abilities. There we go. And everyone, we have ourselves an encounter, a flyby. And that gets both of their contracts done, which will give us a boatload of money. So let's quickly just fly by. Everybody say hi to the moon, or to the mun. Let's see, what do they see? Let's go on, I have the free IVA mod, so I can go around the cockpit. Look at that view. Isn't that view beautiful? Anyways, we're not gonna fly right by the moon. Also, it's a flyby mission. Well, that would have been a cool thing to see from the command module, but whoa! Okay, I don't like the look of that. Okay. We have escaped the moon's gravity. And we're just gonna burn pure prograde at this point. I mean, retrograde, sorry. Now, we burned retrograde at the Apowaps. That way, we can, that way we make the most out of our fuel. We're just gonna want to dip under a bit. That's perfect. Let's see. We're now gonna turn off our SAS so we can conserve electric charge. And now we're gonna make our way home. Okay. In my efforts to time warp, we accidentally time warped through the atmosphere. Oopsie daisy. Let's do that. Let's do that one last time. All right, take two. Looking kind of dumb for that, but we live when we learn. I thought we would have blown up, but thankfully we did not. All right, almost there. Just finish out our warp to the atmosphere. Right about now, we can stop warping. Hold retrograde. See, we're going, what, 3,000 meters per second? Someone do the quick math on how fast that is. If you ask me, it's pretty fast. I think it's somewhere in the realm of 6,000 miles an hour, I want to say. Let's find out. Let's see, what is that? 3,000 meters per second. 2 miles per hour is 6,710. Let's kind of shave off some of that with our fuel. We're going, yes, 6,000 miles an hour. Which is just a hair on the fast side, if you ask me. Ooh. Once that gets almost all the way, we'll jettison it. We're just trying to slow it down so that we're not going to die. Last time we got very, very lucky. We were doing a landing on the grass, and we were going 30 meters per second, so about 70 miles an hour, and we just barely didn't die. So let's pray that we don't have another close call like that again. Let's see, oh, we're getting a splashdown landing as well. You're lucky tourists. All right. Something tells me we're out of electric charge. Nope. Why are we not holding retrograde then? Okay, I really don't like the look of that. Please don't die. Okay, we are actually a missile right now. Don't overheat. Don't overheat. That's gonna overheat, isn't it? Oh, it's a bit too heavy. I think we did it. Did we survive? I think we survived. Well. Come on. We gotta deploy soon. We gotta deploy. We gotta deploy. We're dead. We're dead. Well, that was a bit of a miscalculation. Well, RIP to Jeb, Hanami, and Jedli. We're gonna pretend like that didn't happen, and we're gonna revert to launch. Ooh, my drink's almost out. It's probably still alive. Oh, look at that! It's like none of that ever happened. We'll just forget that happened. Let's try this again. And this time, I'm gonna make sure that we have a bit of a shallower entrance. All right, let's launch. To those of you who says that's cheating, that we basically pretend like that didn't happen, we can't lose the big Jeb. Everyone knows that's a sin to lose big Jeb. Okay, did we start our turn too early? Alright, let's go full throttle. And okay. Stage. Oh, and we keep it. Beautiful. Let's auto stretch just so that we don't like die. What is auto strut, you might ask? Auto strut is like the greatest thing of all time. What it does is, so there's normally struts in the game, right? Auto strut is basically that, but you don't have to place the struts. Makes it so the Kraken, which is like the entity that kills every single large build, so the Kraken can't kill you. That's basically all it does. Let's see, let's warp up and start our circularization. Alright, right about there. Start our burn. And now the wait begins. Let's see, I think we're lined up for a good burn. And we're not dropping Apple Apps. This is perfect. All right. While this burn's going on, I'll be right back. And I'm going to make sure, I'm going to pray that nothing bad happens. All right, I'll be right back. Ooh. Real quickly, stage as well. Almost at the stage. Beautiful. Come back at the perfect time. All right, almost there. 70. Booyah. Oh, what? There you go. Stop the burn. All right. 2 seconds, we're back. All right. All right. Let's see. What is the goal of this mission? Well, I'm glad you asked. We're currently in dire need of money, right? By dire I mean we just need a bit more money so we can upgrade the vehicle assembly building. Since we're in career mode, certain buildings have limitations. For example, we can only have 30 parts on our spacecraft, which ours is at exactly 30 parts right now. That's why we didn't have nose cones on our solid rocket boosters, right? If we upgrade the VAB, the vehicle assembly building, we get up to 225 parts, which allow us to, do a lot more. So, like landing on the moon, which is the goal of the stream today. So this mission, start burning right now. And I'll explain why this burn works as well. The goal of this mission is to complete half of these contracts, Jedli's and Hanami's itinerary, which is to fly by the Mun, which is the moon. And the goal is, or once they get there, they're gonna give us somewhere in the lump sum of 90 grand. and 15 of that is gonna go, or I think it's 95, but 15,000 of that 95 or whatever is going towards this rocket that we're launching. So we're losing that. So we're getting about $80,000 out of this. We're gonna then buy the upgrade to the VAB, and with the remaining money, we're going to the moon. So that's I guess I would say the long story short, but that was a bit of a long story. So I guess that's the story. Let's see, let's continue. Burn right about there. Knowing my luck, we have another collision course. Every single time I've gone to the moon, I've gotten a collision course. And we've had to fix that. So, don't know what that's about. We're about to find out in 3, 2, 1, 0. That's aura, isn't it? Being able to perfectly predict it. Alright, let's turn off SAS real quick. Kind of shoot in that direction just so we can have a non-collision course. Alright. Let's speed this up just a hair. To about right there. Okay, I pressed the wrong button. Looks like we won't get any cool views. Actually, we can still get a bit of a cool view. Let's go this way. Get ourselves oriented right. And go right about there. So view. Unbuckle Live, the free IVA mod, if anyone's wondering. Look at that view. Put that in the corner so no one can see. Isn't that cool? You can see the moon from here. Alright. Let's make our way back home now. Speed up that warp. I don't think we're getting a... Yeah, we got a bit of a big burn on our hands. So what we're going to do, we're going to warp all the way up to Apple Apps. And then we're going to get a bit of a nicer burn. Let's go right here. Retrograde. We're going to try and get this a little smoother. Last time I made the small little teensy tiny error of going too fast, and we slammed right into the Earth. So we're not going to hopefully make that mistake again. This time we're going to try and get a bit of a shallower entrance, you know? We're going to look at our electric charge. What are we looking at? Okay, here. We're going to be a bit more careful on this so that we don't have another mishap. Right about now, we'll start burning. Just enough to... We'll go about 40k. That should be enough. Alright. We're now going to stage. So goodbye, back half of the rocket. And we're now going to hopefully re-enter correctly. Or at least have a better entrance than last time. Yeah, last time we were slamming into the ground at about 1,000 meters per second, so about 2,000 miles an hour. They got misted. So hopefully I have a shallow enough approach this time to where we don't die. Alright. Another fear I have is that I went too shallow. And we're going to just miss it. I think we might have that issue. We might just barely miss it. Yep. Dang it, we just barely missed it. Low-key, I should have been quick saving this entire time. We might have to do this mission again. Actually, no, I think we'll be fine. Because if you looked, our Apple apps went from all the way out there to a bit closer. So I guess that's neat. Our ablator took a bit of a hit, but I think it's fine. Once we get into space, there we go. I think this time we can hopefully make it. How are we all doing today? We doing good? I feel like I ask that question every like 20 seconds, and then I realize it's probably just because we got different chatters. Not chatters, viewers. We're almost back home though, so hopefully this round's the one. We are going a lot slower. We're going about 300 meters per second slower, which is like 700 miles an hour slower. So that's neat, I guess. Yeah, I think it's either going to be this one or the next one, seeing how much we've dropped. Let's keep an eye on that ablator. Something tells me it's going to be third time's a charm. Our Apple apps is actively getting incinerated. Nope, I think this is the one. This is the one. Yep, this is the one. We are landing. And we are coming in rather hot. The second this plasma goes away, which should hopefully be soon, we're popping those drogue chutes. And yeah, this is a lot better of a landing than last time. Alright. Pop chutes. And look at that. You know, we're not landed just yet. But so far, looking good. Looking good, looking good. Drogue chutes deploy in like 2 seconds. We'll put SAS on just so that, you know, looks good. All right. Look at that. 8 meters per second. It's not even that heavy or that fast. That's like, I don't know, 20 miles an hour. We'll just send the heat shield just so we get a bit less. All right, let's stop the warp and watch as we land. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And they all made it. Look at that. Okay, let's board. No, climb. Okay, looks like we'll have to recover them in 2 bunches. But, hey, they're back on Earth. Or Kerbal, whatever you want to call it. Let's also recover the rest of the ship. And let's see how much money do we have. Drum roll. $500,000. That's actually amazing. Towards the sunrise. We did it, guys. Clap it up. We can now upgrade the VAB. Max parts supported 255. Basic action groups available. Cha-ching! Up next, we have the astronaut complex to upgrade, which will give us EVAs, which is extravehicular activity. Isn't that amazing? Let's see, track station required for. I think... Ooh, or do we want to go... I don't know yet which one is better. I think we might want to go... Do you want to go tracking station or do we want to go astronaut complex? Put in the chat. What do we do? Do we want to be able to go EVA or to have conics, which is really helpful. Oh, good news is we don't have to deal with that for a bit. Let's work on landing on the moon. We have a new we have a new series. We were on the Origin series last time. And I was just getting a flyby with them on. We're not gonna have something new. Let's see. This is gonna be the moon. What do we name this? Let's think of... You guys can think of names while I build it. We're gonna call this the Mun 1. In the meantime, the Mun 1. Let's build our re-entry vessel first. Parachutes. Parachutes, parachutes. Just like that. We're also going to... This might be a dumb idea. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure... We're going to put all of our science below. Because I think, with the mod I have, every time I do a science experiment, probably astronaut complex so you can plant the flag. That's actually a good idea. I completely forgot about flag planting. Alright. Let's go. Add SAS node, of course. We're gonna then now go to payload. Where's payload? Here it is. Get the service bay and low-key tack on a... Actually, why do I get the service bay when I can just put a science junior down, right? Put a... Let's see, how many mystery goos do we need? Loki only... We'll bring 2 just in case. And then let's put our science units on. So we have the thermometer, the barometer, and that should be our science unit taken care of. We're not going to be landing on this mission just because we can't do EVAs yet. So this is just an orbital mission. Let's just save this and check out the contracts. Oh, I just realized we can't do any contracts right now because we still have these 2 tourist ones to deal with, which is Orbit and Orbit. Loki? You're gonna do... Let's check what is our timing looking like. Okay. We have about 30 minutes left in our stream, give or take. Do we want to land on the moon and just suck up the fact that we won't be able to plant flags, or Loki, as much as it hurts, we're gonna do that. We're gonna land on the moon. We won't be able to plant the flag, and we won't be able to go on EVA. So we low-key are missing out on a lot, but it is what it is. Let's see what structural stuff. Oh, it's wonderful. We have girders. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put down one of these. Get a interior engine. Get these. Let's see, where is it? Here. Actually, is this enough fuel, or do we need more? 1,711. Let's put a bit more fuel on. Let's take one of these on. One of these puppies. Okay, we'll just keep it like that. And actually, we're gonna go like that. It will all make sense in a second. And then we're gonna go like that. Might be wondering why are we doing that? Well, that way, see, it's a very tall craft. This way, we are able to have a wider landing base. And then we'll start with that retracted. And then we're just gonna, you know, pray, I guess, that we don't blow up because of it. Let's see. Can we even buy anything? No, we can't. Ideally, we'd have. Let's see. After this, we're probably gonna get, fuel systems or advanced construction. I'm unsure because advanced construction gives us fairings. Fuel systems, on the other hand, gives us the bigger engine or bigger fuel tanks, so that we can throw more stuff on there. You know. Probably not advanced flight controls. We don't need RCS units just yet. Maybe electrics, because electrics gives us solar panels. We shall see, though. We shall see. Alright. Let's build the rest of our craft, shall we? The coupler on. Yeah, about 2,000 units of Delta V. That should be just enough. Alright. Now for the main stage. I have a devious idea for this. We're not going to copy this. Or we're going to... No, not yet. We're going to throw a swivel in the middle. And we're going to put 4 more of these on the side. And we're going to put reliance on. Actually, let's see. Thrust is looking at 205 and 240. Okay, we're going to get... Yeah, we're going to get the reliance. We're going to chuck 4 reliance on the side. I might be asking me, why are you doing it like this? You know, like, you know, the reliance don't have gimbal. It won't be able to rotate. Well, it's that I simply say, I think 1 swivel should be enough. Go like that. What difficulty does it save on? It's on a custom difficulty, so it's like, I can probably look at the settings later, but it's on hard, but there's reverts allowed, and, got any tips for beginner? Only just land on the mun? Are you playing career, or are you playing science or sandbox? But I will get to your tips in just a second. Let me finish up the difficulty. It's on the hard difficulty, but reverts and quick saves are allowed. I think that's the only thing I changed between the settings. I think I gave myself a bit more starting cash. Beginner tips, though. Gosh. I would consider myself still a beginner, but I would say don't be afraid to experiment. Low-key, half the stuff, like, what I'm doing right now, I have no clue what I'm doing. This is all just purely experimental. Science. Okay, so that's, well, at least you don't have to deal with contracts. Try and get all the science units in the R&D. Like, let me quickly go over there. Alright. Yeah, try and go down all the science stuff. Try and get basic science. I don't know if you have it already, but that way you get the science junior. The science junior is really good. And after that, I would say just kind of go through everything. I like to have some kind of reaction wheel, SAS module. But after that, I think it's up to, depending on where you want to go. You know, if you want to keep on doing MUN missions, then you might want to, go down those types of like lander routes. Let's see, let's throw some winglets on. But you know, I feel bad that I don't really know what to say. Yeah, that's all I can offer for now. Sorry, that's not that good of an answer. Let's add on some thumpers. Ooh. Put it all together. And we're gonna put that on white. We're gonna copy over these winglets. In theory, this is quite literally the worst craft you've ever witnessed in your life. Not even in theory, in practice as well. There's no reason this should work. It is very wide. Not that tall. But, you know, we'll make do with what we got. So, let's see. All of our staging looks right. I think... Ooh, batteries. Gosh, aren't I a genius? Here we go. And we'll kind of squeeze them in just a bit. You know, that way, you know, for visual sake. We do the same on the mystery go. Yeah. This looks like a pretty good Mun rocket. Anyone have any names for the mission? Or... Because the last one we had the Origin mission, which was kind of like our first crafts. We're now on the Mun. More boosters always works. I can't complain with that. It does work for me normally. Yeah, does anyone have any name ideas? As of right now, it's just called the Mun 1. Which I guess rhymes, but that's all it really has to it. On a previous playthrough, since the Mun is gray, I just wanted to be cool, and I found out whatever was Latin for gray. I think it's Grisio or something, and I call it the Grisio missions. I think in another playthrough, what did I do? I did the Greek counterpart to whatever the Roman god named after the celestial body is. So, for Duna, which is like Mars, I named it, Ares. Let's see. I think we'll just stick with the Mun for now. Mun 1. It's kind of catchy, you know? And if we have any names in the future, we can do that. Doing the last checks to see if we missed anything. We have all of our boosters. We have our radio decouplers. We have our tug stage. And our reentry stage. Well, I think it's time, you know, we get this show on the road, shall we? Save. Oh, almost forgot. We might need some comm dishes. We'll throw them right here. There we go. Got some comms in. I say we launch this sucker. See what we can do out of it, you know? And after this mission, praying that it goes well, we'll end stream for the day, and then we'll come back probably tomorrow. Cool. Let's see. Jeb, you ready? I'm not ready. But what's the worst that could happen? Oh, almost forgot SAS. Throttle down just a bit so we can save on liquid fuel. Start our gravity turn. Also turn on maneuver node. Maneuver mode. That way you can see our Apple apps. I have no clue how long these SRBs is going to take. Last one mission, the English muffin. It's rather creative, I guess. Alright, let's go down. And let's finish out our gravity turn. Okay, I lost everything. Let's go back to prograde. Let's just hit prograde and pray. Once it stops moving us, let's go to stability assist. Get a bit more altitude. Alright, that should be enough. I pray now that we have enough Delta V to land on the Mun and get back. Alright. Let's go horizontal. That's the wrong button. Alright. Last couple times we've had to eat into our tug stage's supply of fuel, so hopefully we don't have that issue again, but you never know. So warp up a bit. Alright, now we're gonna start our burn. Yeah, we're gonna be just shy, I think. Actually, no, we might have enough. Oh, it's hard to tell. We are just chunking away at our fuel, so. What's our TWR looking like? Whoa, okay, that's a lot of TWR. We're looking at 6. Gosh, and that almost worked as well. Alright, just a hair above there. Let's see, where is the moon? There is the moon. Do we think we get another collision course? The last 3 times have been collision courses. Honestly, I'm hoping we get a collision course. Oh, I just realized we don't have the contract enabled for going to the Mun. I think it's fine. We can get on the next stream. Speaking of the next stream, I have to figure out a witty name for it. Let's see. We need to go also a bit up. Any second now, we should have. Beautiful. All right, we just had to fix our orbit just slightly. All right, almost there. One of my more serious names was Project Indigo for the Eve program. Gosh, I've thought about Eve once, and let's just say it did not end out well. I got to a point where I just wanted to make an Eve base because I knew there was no chance I was coming back from that. And every time there was something that always happened, which kind of made me mad. Alright, full burn and into the abyss. Let's see, can I? Oh, I can't speed it up as well. Let's hope this mission goes well. You know, this was I feel like this, you know, as the stream winds to a close, seeing as we have this mission left and then we're done. I think that it wasn't that bad of a stream. You know, either from a Kerbal Space Program standpoint, also from a streaming standpoint. You know, aside from the first, how long was that? Half hour? You know, we had pretty steady viewership counts. Granted, it was like 1 or 2, but that's still steady. On today's question of, did we do enough? Survey says yes. And all we have to do is kind of look retrograde. Just a hair. We're actually going to quick save. And we're actually going to make a full quick save. That's the wrong button. Where's F6? Eve pro tip, reject rocketry, embrace plane. Okay, I'll stop you right there. Everyone knows that space planes are lame. It's a joke, I just don't know how to make them. Let's see. Oh, it's Alt F5, that's what it's called. We're gonna call it Mun Flyby. That way, if we don't have enough fuel, we'll just come back to here, skirt around the Mun, and call it a day. Alright, wonderful. Something tells me we don't have enough fuel. That something being that we're going about 600 meters per second. And, well, let's just say that we have, oh, now 700. And we barely have enough fuel to counteract that. Something tells me Jeb might be, not coming home from this one. Let's go up there. We're going to start at about 15 or so thousand. We're going to start our burn. We'll start at 20 just because I don't have faith in the... this. We'll wait till 15. Yeah, we're going to have to revert this flight, unfortunately. Or not revert. Whoa. Holy voice crack. I think for the next one, what we have to do, we have to make this a larger fuel tank, and we need a bit more fuel on that initial stage. That way, we don't have to use any of our Terrier engine. Oh, I never extended these. Let's do that right now. Say good news, we're landing on the Mun. Bad news, well, we're gonna have to scrap the mission altogether. It'll be very unfortunate. Honestly, I'll probably just revert it just so we can save the funds. Okay. Start our burn again. You can tell by the fact that we barely have any fuel left. This is a one-way mission. Almost there. There we go. Just set her down. Oh, too much. Wonderful. See how much science we're missing out on. Isn't that great? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to close the door. Where's the sun at? I'm going to warp to sunrise. Why am I doing this, you might ask? Well, for the small, simple reason. Go here. I don't like the sound of that. I now have a screenshot for our next thumbnail. We're not going to do a quick save. We're actually just going to... Oh, we can't even revert flight. Isn't that wonderful? So we're going to get a little flyby of the mun. And we're now going to use the rest of our fuel to hopefully send us home. Retrograde. How much? What are we looking on electrics? Looking pretty fine. That's not good. Okay. That's really not good. Okay, something happened. We're going to go back to our quick save from earlier. Extend the antenna because for some reason we lost all control. So we're just going to do that. Make sure, okay, everything is on. We're going to do our flyby. We're going to get to retrograde. We're going to send good old Jeb home. Sadly, we couldn't land today. And we're also out of time, so. Tomorrow, though, we'll come back and try again. I'll have to think of a new witty name, because, you know, this, or last time it was, we choose to go to the moon. Which is a famous JFK quote, for those who didn't know. There was one small step for Kerbal, which is what Neil Armstrong said. Okay, that's a bit too much. So next time what we'll probably do, I'll probably find something. I don't know. Let's make a... Ooh, let's make a quick save right here. Okay. Let's go back to our quick save. We warped a bit too fast. I forgot, you never touch the 100,000 times warp. Unless you're warping years into the future. Because it takes about 3 days to go from 100 to 0. Alright. This is not going to be pretty in any stretch of the imagination. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about our Science Junior or any of this stuff. So low-key, we'll bail on it now. And we'll hopefully have a textbook landing. That scared me so much. That's the rest of our lander blowing up. Well, actually gave me a heart attack. Alright. We should be re-entering any moment now. hopefully soon we will no longer be on Fryer. I think it's under 1,000 kilometers. Beautiful. And just like that. Drogues deploy, mains deploy. Yada yada yada. Well, I think this would be a good way to cap off the stream. Well, I guess not necessarily a good way because we didn't land on the moon. Technically we did, but yeah, you know what I mean. Tomorrow I'll be streaming at, see if I, odds are most people are listening from Eastern time, so I'll say, I don't know, 2 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Eastern. What is that, like 11 to 12 Mountain, if anyone's listening from Mountain Standard. That's about when I'll stream tomorrow. And we will probably have a lot longer of a stream. But make sure you subscribe for that. You don't want to miss it. We'll be doing contracts. We'll be doing hopefully Mun landings. Oh, please tell me we're not going to hit the tree and blow up. Okay, we just barely missed it. And yeah. With that being said, as we... Any second now. With that being said, thank you all very much for tuning in to a wonderful stream today. We got a bit more work done. We got the VAB upgraded, which was a huge thing. And yeah, that's about it for today. So, I will probably be back tomorrow. And yeah. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm joking, you have to do that one. And I'll see you then.